of any of these houses. Then shut down your car. Continue using these scanning techniques throughout this course. Use both your eyes and your ears to help identify hazards. So you've learned how to identify hazards, some obvious, some not so obvious. You've even learned the first step towards anticipating hazards. But what happens when things don't go as planned? How can you prepare yourself for the unexpected? Well, let's get out of here and I'll show you. Take a left out of this exit. Stop here and look left before pulling out. Okay, you're clear to go because this car is turning into the gas station, right? Well, what if he doesn't turn and you decide to pull out? As I said, things don't always go as planned, and other drivers don't always make good decisions or obey traffic laws. Now it's safe to pull out. One way to prepare for the unexpected is to use a technique called what if. It means as you drive, constantly ask yourself, what if? For instance, what if this car on the left decides to pull out in front of us? What if this car decides to stop suddenly because the light turned yellow? What if this car pulls out in front of you? What if the kid decides to run across the street? Stuff like this happens all the time. Okay, here's a math quiz. If you're traveling at the posted speed limit, how close will you get to the kid before coming to a stop? The answer? You won't even have your foot on the brake when you hit him. Well, even if you were paying full attention to the road, it takes several seconds to recognize what's going on, determine if it's a hazard, decide on the appropriate response, and to move your foot from the accelerator to the brake. So, how do you give yourself more time to react? The obvious would be to stay alert and drive slower in busier areas, but there's another technique that can reduce your reaction time. It's called covering the brake. Here's how it works. When you approach a busy area, instead of keeping your foot over the gas, rest your foot gently on the brake pedal, but do not depress it. You're not actually slowing down, but you're ready to at any moment. This technique can give you a few moments more to react to a situation should it occur. Try it yourself, scan for hazards, and ask yourself, what if? Then cover the brake when appropriate. See how quickly you can respond to any situation. Okay, I think you got it. Pull over by any of these houses and shut down your vehicle. At first, you might have to make a conscious effort to think, what if? But as you get a little more experience, it'll happen more naturally. You'll have the chance to experience many types of intersections, each with their own set of rules. Let's start with the most common, the four-way stop. At these intersections, every vehicle has a stop sign. The question is, how do you know who gets to go first? The rule is simple. The first one to arrive gets to go first, then the second, then the third. It's important then to pay attention to the order in which the vehicles arrive and come to a stop. Looks like you're number 4. Let's get back in the car. When it's your turn to go, drive straight through the intersection. If you're ever unsure whose turn it is, it's safer and more courteous to let the other driver go first. Try to make eye contact with the other driver and use a hand gesture if possible. Then proceed slowly in case there was any miscommunication. Try this on your own. Pay attention to the order in which the other vehicles arrive and proceed through the intersection when it's your turn. Okay, here's another intersection with very different rules. Notice the other vehicles don't have a stop, only you. In this case, you have to decide when it's safe to pull out. Make sure you use your turn signal to let other drivers know where you're headed. A very common crash occurs when you assume the vehicle in front of you has pulled out and you are still looking to the left. Signal lights are in a way easier because you have a light that tells you when to go. At many intersections, you can take a right when the signal light is still red. But whether the signal light is red or green, you should look both ways several times before pulling into the intersection. Remember, other drivers don't always obey traffic laws.